got to bring their best defence, North Melbourne. With Hawthorn's kicking skills, you've got to pressure them.
First clearance with Hawthorn. Langford goes long. McAvoy there. Off hands. Brust worried out of it by Wright, who was pretty good last week against Geelong. Saw North Melbourne play last week against the Cats. Very impressive they were. Fast starting Hawthorn. Isaac Smith gets the first inside the first 20 seconds.
That's the start that the Hawks wanted. Isaac Smith is a goal kicker. He's a goal a game from that wing, and that'll get him into it. Hasn't started the year as well as he would have liked. Still playing solidly, but he can play better, so that'll get him into the game and feeling good about it nice and early.
Well, Richo, you mentioned him being a goal kicker. From the centre bounce, Isaac Smith just absolutely took off straight out. He was involved in that play, not directly, but as soon as that ball came in there, he just ran as hard as he possibly could towards the goal. And when the turnover came, you can see him pop out at the bottom of your screen there. He's forward, goal side of the contest, ends up kicking the easy goal. Very attacking play early on. They've set the scene well.
And another clearance here. Hawks making their first appearance at Etihad this year. Last time they were here, they lost to this team. 20-point loss it was from that point. And a mark taken by Suckling. So this is a fast-starting Hawthorn. Suckling, we know, has a lethal boot.
Well, they've been able to win the first two centre clearances. So when you do that and give your forwards first opportunity, Gunston playing in front, and Suckling has started up forward tonight on that half-forward line, gets himself involved. I'm not sure the kick was going to him, but he's ended up with it.
Have you seen that before? Noticed that Suckling started forward very often.
Hawthorn rolls so many players through their forward 50, but not very often.
For their second goal inside 2 minutes, Suckling loves to go out on that left, and he just dragged it across the body a little and split the middle of the post.
Well, last week when the Hawks kicked their second goal, their opponents already had 11. They got absolutely jumped by the Power. They had 42 points on the board at the 17-minute mark, and the Hawks hadn't registered a score. So you get the feeling they are sharp tonight, the Hawks. They're going to make sure they get out of the blocks. Kangaroos having to work their ways through. Atley here at half-back. Higgins started his career with the Kangaroos in pretty good style, but couldn't keep that one in.
They're switched on here, Hawthorn. They've got their pressure up early. They've got their structure up. As you can see, they've locked it in their forward half.
Chain of handballs ending when they ran out of tarmac then. 6 in a row from the north. I wonder whether that's an intention here tonight to try and find their way through this Hawthorn forward end. Wood around the corner on his non-preferred right, so they lock it in successfully here.
Yeah, there it is, BT. The structure was perfect behind that stoppage.
They do indeed. Here's Birchall. Goes backwards to the skipper. So Schoenmakers, as everyone knows, back into the side. Rioli presents. Looking very threatening here in the opening moments. Langford lively and switched on are the Hawks, so beware the Roos. Can North weather the storm? Here's Roughhead. Had an opportunity with Stratton, ignored that, tried to centre the kick and couldn't find Suckling. Bastanak now darts into Harvey.
They look sharp, don't they, the Hawks? They, as you called, really need to weather the storm here. Wood goes out wide. Now they've got a little bit of space out there. Jacobs gets it back to Mason Wood. Boomer Harvey started at half-back. This is a nice build-up for the Kangaroos, and Drew Petrie gets on the end of it.
He was on his own for ages then, Petrie.
Going to load up the one-on-one. Big Ben Brown's got a mismatch, and he's too tall and too talented there for Bradley Hill. So they got caught out the Hawks' defence there, and Big Ben Brown, the biggie boy from Tasmania, gets a chance to kick the Kangaroos first.
Yeah, mismatches there. The fast break was on, and Hawthorn couldn't get back and get the defenders on the forwards. Hodge was on Petrie, and Brad Hill got caught out on this man, giving up just about 20 centimetres. He was always going to mark that.
Debuted in round 14 last year, a mature age recruit, Ben Brown. He's been a multiple goal kicker in 9 of his 14 games. He'd like to start well here, and Ben Brown kicks the Kangaroos first.
So Brown, as we wait in the umpires.
Ball is a goal. Then a check if it's hit the post, please.
Okay, so the post, the concern here, the back of the post, going to be a hard one to spot. Doesn't look like the ball changes direction there, but
Is that what they'd be looking at, BT, the rotation of the
yeah,
ball?
I would think so, Richo. And that's going to be a hard one to call off that replay. Let's have a look at this one. See if it's any clearer and the ball changes in any way. very, very hard to call that. I think the goal will stand here, boys.
I think that'll be inconclusive. It'll be the umpire's call.
Need a bit of snicko on the goalpost there, Das. They're having a good look at it. Pretty hard to overrule that, I would say.
Review complete. Confirmed goal.
Well, good start to Ben Brown, as we mentioned. They got the fast break happening and they had forwards out over the back on mismatches. Brad Hill was no chance to be able to defend Ben Brown down there, and it was a tight angle though, and he's a really, really improved player, this guy. He seems to get better every week you watch him. Brings a lot of energy to the forward line, enthusiasm, and works really hard, and he's getting rewarded.
He does look lively, Ben Brown, and I think he just surprised Hill for off-the-mark pace and then the athleticism. And
well, his eyes would have lit up, Ben Brown, when he saw Brad Hill on him. No disrespect to Hilly, just too big.
The Dukes were outstretched. It was magnificent. There's the multi-skilled Mitchell with a driving ball.
Gee, that was good by Rioli.
Keep that alive. Doing well there, Richo. Umpire's got a pinging incorrect disposal here. Let's have a listen.
Illegal disposal. Segler.
Illegal disposal. No argument from the players there.
Yeah, there was a loose man back, and you thought North Melbourne would be able to mark the football there. Rioli sort of jumped up out of nowhere, kept it alive, and that's the result. Segler lays a good tackle.
All he needed to do there, guys, was close his fist. He actually got the hand to it to give the handball off, but
legal handball though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was a tap handball, I think. So here is Segler. As a result, drills it. Hawthorn are away to a nice start here. 2-1-13. North 1 straight.
Johnny Segler hits the scoreboard, and that's important because they've got a big job tonight, him and McAvoy, playing on the informed ruckman and probably all-Australian ruckman if you pick the team right now in Todd Goldstein. So McAvoy and Segler, they've got to double team him tonight. And kicking a goal, even though he wasn't on Goldie there, will get his confidence up and help him as the night moves forward. It's a bit of an issue there already. Hawthorn 3 clearances to nil out of the middle. North need to at least neutralise this one.
And you would have thought with Goldstein, the informed ruckman in the competition, it might have been an area, the centre clearances that the Kangaroos could dominate. Roughheads pushed himself in, Bree-T.
That's what a double-page spread can do to you, Das.
Well, that's right. Yeah, the big article in the Herald Sun today, Lindsay Thomas, he wanted to claim the mark, play on's the call. Outside of the boot job from Swallow wasn't where he wanted it to go. Showen Makers back in the side. He played that pretty well. Mitchell, normally really sure by hand on that occasion, just hanging out in the air a little bit, suckling. Gets it back to Mitchell. Sweep the handball back to Hodge and just flirted there for a moment. The umpire said didn't complete the mark. Now Petrie over the top of Gibson. Mitchell goes in kamikaze style. Goldstein picked it up with one hand. Almost thrown out by Mitchell. They want the boundary line here, and Billy Hartung, almost rugby style, got it over the line, and we'll have a boundary throwing.
It was a great handball by Sam Mitchell there, Richo, because he knew that if he'd given it directly to Hartung, he would have been tackled, so he went over his head towards the boundary.
Well, he thinks he's a very intelligent footballer, Sam Mitchell.
McAvoy up, Goldstein in amongst it here, an opportunity for North. Nahas, who's been dangerous this year and in some good touch.
Kicked 3 last week, Robbie Nahas. And his job in the team, first and foremost, is to lay tackles and put pressure on inside that 50. And if he does that, the offensive stuff will happen for him.
Josh Gibson, you see there. There's a push off the footy.
Swallow. To get you, Taylor. To get you, Taylor. Punch in the stomach. It's your kick. Yep. Send me, I've got it, mate. Yep.
Just a push like that.
You punch him in the stomach.
Just watch you holding that. I'm just saying from now on. Yeah, it's a free kick. Do that, boys.
Taylor Duray got him in the stomach. The umpire said, let's have a look. Oh, just a little cracker uppercut. Gee, Floyd would have been happy with that.
Fairly matter of fact, wasn't he, Taylor? He said, look, fair enough, pay the free kick.
Gee. Swallow, unusual. Perhaps not. Kicks the goal. They've got a couple as well, North.
Andrew Swallow, the skipper, makes no mistake. We've got a good game on our hands here. Couple of goals apiece and an entertaining start. I think Taylor Dre's pretty happy that that was just a free kick. Little love tap. We'll see a few of those in Vegas tomorrow with Floyd and Manny going head-to-head.
So another little look at that here from Duray, and the only thing we can't see there, it did look like an open hand. If it is an open hand, then he may be okay. And it's very difficult to see from that. Otherwise, he could be just in a little bit of bother. Bastanak out of the middle for North. Good even start here. They've recovered North. And Duray hurt his knee as he fell to ground. There is Black, who replaces Wade up forward, has taken the mark well within his range.
Well, first game for the year for Aaron Black, and he made the most of having a size advantage there as well. He'll be keen to play well tonight with Wade going out.
Duray just grabbing the ankle there.
So he had to use every bit of his spring there, Duray, even to try and knock that clear of Black.
The ankle flexing under that. Here is the replacement for Jared Waite tonight. Black comes in and it starts it right and it stays right. So scores. In fact, no score there. So
Lingy, you
they've locked in.
Lingy, you see any matchups in the midfield? Is Bastanak gone to Mitchell?
Well, I'm keeping a really close eye on Mitchell. He's had a lot of space. He's already had the 6 disposals. It looks like Bastanak's taking him, but also Cunnington tries to take him at stoppages, but getting plenty of room at the moment.
It's over the head of both Goldstein and Segler. Rioli pushing back deep. Cleared it out of defensive 50. Now Tarrant drives it back in. Petrie's got the box seat here. Gibson did really well to bring it to ground. Going to try and make the most of their size advantage, the North forwards. And on that occasion, Gibson saved the day. Now Mitchell sees something he likes out the outer side of Etihad Stadium. It's Bradley Hill, who got off his man Gibson, and now good overlap run. Look at Bruce in some space. They normally punish you in this situation, the Hawks. Bruce takes one bounce. He looks up. Roughhead, I think, is the obvious target. Comes out on the lead. He got past Tarrant. Awkward bouncing footy. It favoured Robbie Tarrant. And the Kangaroos should be able to clean this one up through half-back.
Yeah, here's Atley. Tries to get around one. Got it to Harvey. Harvey, a little chipper. Building good momentum here for Rito. Nice little chiseler. Petrie, long way up. Swallow on the run. Here they go, North Melbourne. Driving kick to the advantage of Black. And Hodge, as he so often does, third man up.
And he needed to be third man up. What a great reader of the play he is. He timed that to perfection, Luke Hodge. Little bear hug there. Gee, look at that. He had 2 hands on it. Gibson's giving away a bit of a height advantage there as well.
Segler this time. Little soccer off the ground. Poker out of the pack from Burgoyne. Gibson immediately gets onto it. Sees what he like around the corner. But real commitment from Duray there. And Nahas felt the effects of that. He will recover, I think.
Well, hopefully he'll get up all right, because he was very good last week for the Kangaroos, Robbie Nahas. Sam Mitchell just having a bit of a rest on the bench at the moment for the Hawks as we look again at Duray. Great spoil. I don't like the fact that North Melbourne have let him have some space. He's had the 7 disposals as Lindsay Thomas draws a high contact free kick. He'll have a shot at goal. North, it's not really hurting them too much at the moment, but I'll let you guys take over here because there's a bit of
Hodges, I think, got hold of someone there. I loved it. It was a swallow that he's got, and his teammates have reacted rather angrily and ferociously, I might add. They are not happy as Thomas kicks the goal. They are not happy with what Luke Hodge has done here. It'll be an intriguing replay, but players have converged from everywhere. Shields is in amongst it. Swallow is okay. And maybe just a flying of the flag. But all points to a nice...
Well, that was the original free kick.
So that's the free, and then we're going to show you the replay. But it's flared again. So this is going on, and Hodge is soaking up all the attention, and it's water off a duck's back to Hodgie.
He loves the rough stuff. There's been a free in the middle, Dust.
Well, they've got it moving now. In the meantime, the Lindsay Thomas goal counts, and there's another free kick off the footy here. This is actually starting to really get out of hand at the moment. The umpires want to get it moving, and so does Suckling. Oh, big fly from Gunston. Couldn't quite get hand to ball. And so let's have a look at this. Hodge got up, and that is an elbow to the head.
Now,
first look at that, not great for Luke Hodge.
That is the first look, and yeah, that was it a clumsy one? Was it intentional? That's a decision that well, match review have got to make, and I guess you sitting at home have got to make as well. But in the meantime, it's really fired things up here, and Brewster's got a free kick in front of goal, and we'll line up for the Hawks' third.
Well, there's a bit going on, free kicks everywhere here, and it was a bit of a reflex action from Hodge as he swung around, but he did make contact. His former teammate Brad Sewell's on the match review panel now as well.
Whether it's forearm or whether it was point of elbow, you would need to see it again. Nonetheless, here is Brewster. He kicks the goal. 3 goals each now, with Hawthorn leading by that solitary point, but a couple of big moments here in the game. Let's just have another look at this. And that was after the initial attack back in the middle when they went to restart the ball, and Dar said a free kick had been given, and that's why the free kick was given. And then another coming together. So Swallow not happy with the treatment he received, Dar. How do you see it?
He wants a piece of Luke Hodge, Andrew Swallow, and that was the other free kick. So Hodge gave away the 50 and a goal, and then Swallow reacted, and we saw the free kick from the centre bounce. So, wow, this is red hot here at the moment. Goal for goal, and we'll come back and have another look at the initial Hodge incident in a minute, because he might have a bit of an issue with that one. It looked like an elbow to the head. Langford in the meantime goes in and wins the footy. It was a good strong tackle applied on him. It's a hot footy to be won. Isaac Smith sweeps it out to Hartung. He's a running machine, Billy Hartung. Awkward footy to Mark. Thompson's going to smash it out of there. Really well taken by Bruce. And a free kick. McMillan into the side, and that was a bit reckless, that one.
This is the issue now. North Melbourne have got to settle. As angry as they were about the treatment of Andrew Swallow by Luke Hodge, they've got, as you can see, Hodge here, that's an elbow to the jaw. That is not good by Luke Hodge. He'd be disappointed with himself on that one. He'll get a couple of weeks for that, I reckon. A bit disappointing. But what North Melbourne have got to do now is settle. They can't just be going the man, can't be giving away free kicks, have to go in and win the footy.
Luke Bruce in the corresponding game last year, Sam Wright kept him to just a goal. We know what an accurate kick he is. McAvoy marked it, but it was over the line. And the margin 2 points here in favour of the Hawks. And Lingy's saying they just need to regain a bit of composure, the Kangaroos, Richo.
Yeah, well, they've got possession here, and they've got a chance to do that. Brad Scott jumped up in the box there and was standing at the back. He wasn't happy.
So the intensity of this game builds. Burgoyne off hands, and it was interesting to see Zeebel's reaction to the Hodge thing. All the trouble he's been in. He knew he couldn't really do much about it.
Well, you can't do anything about it, so you've just got to get on with the game now and win the hard ball, as Lingy pointed out.
Well, you can do something about it if you want, Richo.
Well, if you want a holiday, you can.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Here's Thompson. Who settles first out of all of this? Zeeble, kick a little slow to get rid of it. Head over the ball, Bruce, who's featured prominently. Stratton out wide for the runner, the carrier, the man that can really go by foot. Hill's kick wasn't such a good squaring kick. Isaac Smith went past it. So did Brown. Now North Melbourne under real pressure. Roughhead wants to go sideways. He finds and slots up Sam Mitchell, and Mitchell just slows it down a little. Nothing really deep other than Rioli. All of the other players are within 20 metres of Mitchell. That's why he didn't go long with the kick. It was well held.
Sam Wright standing in the hole. He played a really important game last week down at Geelong. Had 30 touches playing that loose man in defence. He's doing it again tonight.
Stratton to Gunston. Gunston probably within range here. He says to the umpire, I'm going to have a shot, so give me my 30, please.
On the line, yep.
And he will go back and line up.
Thanks, Jack. Mark's on the 50.
So the mark, you can hear the umpire, who, by the way, Matthew Nichols there, Sam Hay and Scott Jeffrey tonight. Gunston, this will be right on the limits of what he can do. It's online. It's all about distance. Gets there. Gunston kicks the Hawks fourth.
We sing his praises every week with his set shot goal kicking. That's 7-1 for the year now, and when he's inside 40 metres, he's got a really straight approach to goal. He's got one of the straightest run-ups you'll see, but when he gets outside 50, he's able to adjust that, and he puts a little bit of arc on his run, but still kicks so straight. Fantastic shot for goal.
What a great asset it is, isn't it, to have players in your side like Gunston who just don't miss. Bruce, an accurate kick, and outside 50 goals like that are just gold.
Yeah.
Jack Gunston, as you said, Richo, one of the best in the business at it.
And just able to change his setup a little bit when he needs to get that extra distance.
Hawks have had good benefit out of the centre clearance. Langford drives them forward again. I thought McAvoy might have got a little shepherd. It was Ferrito, has to go back in and win the footy. Wants the boundary line, and Jacobs sees it over.
I reckon Ben McAvoy would be a bit happier as Hodgie comes back down. Sean Higgins there, but big boy last week got caught on the last line of defence. I think he's a bit happier competing 10 metres out in front of his own goal.
Deep in the Hawthorn attack zone. Gee, Langford's had a lot of it so far, been very, very prominent for the Hawks. Here he is again, goes back in, confronted by Cunnington, got it out to Burchell, tried to drive the body through, but the Swallow tackle effective.
Go through. Yes, go through.
Luke Hodges just pushed himself up to this stoppage here. I think he wants to sniff a big moment. Going to charge through, try and get on the end of it on his left foot.
Goes Gunston, he trying to get on the end of it as well. A few rushing through there as Lingy called. Now Brown's got to go. Nahas in the thick of it, in amongst three Hawks. A little heavy on the ferocity of the handball. Atley had a fumble. Langford again, leading possession getter on the ground now. Here's Will Langford. Wood just backwards to a very casual Thompson, who clawed it in with the one claw, and then that's a real ordinary kick down the throat of Suckling.
Yeah, that's going to come back inside 50 fairly quickly. It was a poor kick from Scotty Thompson. Suckling's been called to play on. Jordan Lewis now gets the overlap handball. Hartung might get smashed here. Ferrito came through. The handball hung in the air a little too long. And the Kangaroos trying to force it through here at half-back. Hodges got Atley wrapped up and ragdolls him to the ground. So a fair bit of heat, a fair bit of spite. There's a fair bit of verbal in this first quarter. It's a great contest. Goldstein to Hodge, and there's a bit of the North Melbourne fans getting involved. They've had a look at Hodges' incident. Not overly happy with it. So the Kangaroos going to try and change direction here now. Right, back to Thompson. Overlap handball on to McMillan. Back into the side to Tarrant. They've done this pretty well. This is the kick they need to work their way through. And good pressure. Well done, Burchell. That's the full team defence of Hawthorn on display right there.
It's good here tonight. There's no doubt that Hawthorn is, in the historical sense, that Hawthorn is North's greatest rival. We saw the parade lap of the 75 premiership players, but it sort of dates back into that 40-year period, 75, 76 and 78, when they played Hawthorn in grand finals, and we're seeing a little bit of that relived here tonight early in this game. Jacobs around the corner with a real risky kick. Ferrito did well.
Sammy Mitchell set himself up behind the football at the moment, so he's playing more defensive half of the ground at the moment. Had 8 disposals, Mitchell.
McMillan to Wood. True wing position here. Etihad Stadium looking in magnificent condition, I might add. There's Jacobs as they transfer the play. And Jacobs' kick needs to be precise, and it is. Goldstein. Oh! Lewis has now gone the forearm.
Gee whiz.
This is going to erupt again here. We've seen the two heavy hitters in Hodge and Lewis hand out some clout here tonight. And that one is going to cause a lot of action as Lewis and Ferrito go head-to-head, and not just in a physical sense, a real verbal. It is on here at Etihad Stadium. Blood is drawn. Lewis in trouble. Hodge in trouble. Boy.
I'm reporting him for striking, okay?
Reported for striking for that.
Well, that's reckless, isn't it? There's only one way to describe that. That's a round arm to the head, and he will miss weeks for that, Jordan Lewis.
Gus, that's more than reckless. That's very ordinary by Jordan Lewis. Somebody's eyes on the football. That's not tough footy there.
They could have their 2 highest possession getters and 2 most experienced players, as there's a cut on the eye, and he's already swelled up, out for a few weeks here. A dramatic start. North Melbourne missed through Goldstein. He'll come from the ground as that eye closes up. But what an incredibly dramatic start we're seeing here at Etihad Stadium. And it is fistic fury like no other on the eve of the big one tomorrow.
Tell you what, if we've got a game, don't go anywhere tonight. This is just going to erupt. You get the feeling. Segler's pushed up the ground. He only managed 2 possessions last week over at Adelaide Oval. He's managed a goal already. Who is going to be able to hold their composure better? The Hawks have moved this one nicely down the ground. Gunston wants to get it back. That's great. Hard running from Gunston.
Lewis and Hodge are 1-2 in the comp for disposals at the moment, both playing unbelievable footy, but both of them will have something to think about during the week.
Yep, they'll be looking at a holiday. Luke Hodge and Jordan Lewis, as Gunston kicks that one deep, and Goldstein gets back, and that is a great response from Goldstein. As Clarko looks on, got himself in a great position there, did the big ruckman Goldstein, who's been a little quiet, I have to say, so far. That's only disposal number 2 for the big ruckman.
Well, if my memory's not fading, last time Lewis was suspended and got 3 weeks was back in 2012, and guess what? It was against Todd Goldstein. So a little bit of history there. Incredible opening 25 minutes to this game, not just because we've got 2 great teams that are scoring nicely, 4 and 3 goals respectively, but the contest, Brad Scott looks absolutely furious.
Yeah, he's not happy. He got up earlier with the Luke Hodge incident. He had to go and stand at the back of the box. He was pretty upset about it.
Bastanak in amongst it here, and one can only think when Brad Scott gets an opportunity to come down whether there's going to be a glare or 2 as Rioli rises over the back. An opportunity for North to strip it away. Here's Wright. Handball out wide. We'll watch with interest at quarter time. There may be another chapter to this yet. As Wright marks at half back. Both sides still in the process of feeling each other out. Thompson now besieged. Big boy McAvoy's got him. Dumps in. Z-ball trying to be casual. Little slow. McAvoy. Gunston. Little poker out of there and misses. Still plenty of time in this first quarter for damage to be done. They could have 3 players outed in this first quarter in a big way. The Hawks. Harvey drops one. Isaac Smith came through. He was one of their best last week and kicks that one out of bounds on the full.
It's 16 inside 50s. Hawthorn to 9 North Melbourne. They'll just want to tighten that up a little bit, North, at quarter time, because if you keep giving Hawthorn that many opportunities, they're going to hurt you on the scoreboard.
Have a look at the crowd. I tell you what, it's just caught us a little off guard here. It is a big crowd brewing here at Etihad Stadium on a Saturday night as well. So it's a North Melbourne home game here tonight, and we are full to the back row just about all the way around. So a real good attendance. And they're getting their dollars worth here tonight. Mitchell, clever to Birchall. Duray, who's also under the microscope here tonight. Long ball forward, off hands Rioli, looking dangerous, just couldn't quite hold on to it. Suckling took him on. Zeeble wanted him, slipped him. Little handball now. Segler, right foot bending, didn't get enough on it. And now North Melbourne an opportunity.
Yeah, they've got some space here, that half-back. The Hawks last week were 42 points down, early stages. 17-minute mark, in fact, in the first quarter last week. They've come out with some unbelievable aggression. It's spilled over, but they're playing with some intent at the moment. They've got it back here through Birchall. Now Duray, McAvoy, a little nervous moment as Goldstein approached, but the big boy's got it at half-back. Little one on here in the middle to Isaac Smith. Kangaroos have dropped a man back, Robbie Tarrant. They got back in defence, but they've got a few out here, Richo.
Got players out everywhere forward. Here's Suckling's on. Brad Hill.
Just lost their way a bit, didn't they, the North structure on that occasion. Here comes Roughhead. The kick was perfect, and that was a breakdown in their defence, Richo. You're all over it. They had 3 numbers on their own here on the near side of the ground. Yeah,
they just didn't close that exit there. Look at that. 3 players loose on that side, and if you give Brad Hill that much time to deliver the ball inside 50, he's not going to miss a target. Nothing he can do as a defender there.
Kept goalless and took just 2 marks last week. Big Rough, he's had a good start to the year. He wouldn't be happy with last week. He's a beautiful kick for goal. Roughhead kicks the Hawks 5th here in the first quarter.
Well, they've just pushed away late in this quarter. They've had 9 scoring shots, 18 entries. So Brad Scott at quarter time, we'll be having a look at his all-over defence across the ground, because if you allow Hawthorn this many opportunities to score, they'll slice you up. The highest scoring team in the comp over the last 2 or 3 years. Had 78 entries last week. They're on target again this week.
Yes, look at the inside 50s there. Gunston, Brewston, Roughhead, all amongst the goals. Not for the first time in recent history, that's for sure, for those three.
All over 50 last year, BT.
Yeah. Opportunity. Incredible, really, to have 3 goal kickers of that.
It's unbelievable. And that's what's made them the benchmark. They average, you know, 9 or 10 goal kickers a week and have 3 guys capable of kicking 50.
There's Burgoyne. Goes wide, and with just 1:12 remaining in this quarter, Hawthorn have kicked 3 consecutive goals to just gain the ascendancy here over North. Go down the line here, Roughhead. Met very solidly, and he said, "Where's the free for me?"
Jordan Lewis there, he's not happy.
Looks bemused, he questions the umpire.
Look at the North fans, they're getting into Jordan. He looked to be tunnelled there. That should have been a free kick. It's pretty dangerous when that happens.
Rioli.
You have no way of controlling. Once you jump in the air and you have your legs taken out from under you, it can be nasty.
They're rather dissatisfied, it's fair to say, the blue and white here at the moment. McAvoy just got rid of Goldstein there. Harvey, beautiful little handball. Cunnington was caught. Roughhead. Now Lewis, an opportunity. Inside 50 again. Yet another entry. Thompson put his head over the ball. Got rid of Bruce. Nahas has got to work hard. Attlee was clean, but he missed Wood by a fair way with the handball. And eventually they find Wood, who is on his favoured left side. He now looks for Nahas, but will run out of room. And you can see Birchall in the foreground there waiting to come on. And the 2 coaches have plenty to contemplate.
Still time for another score here for both sides. A quick clearing kick. Mark inside 50, 23 seconds remaining. It's Goldstein. McAvoy doing battle. Goldstein double-handed down. Lewis, I should say Hodge, wanted to force his way through. And Mason Wood finds the boundary.
Sam Mitchell, 10 disposals for Hawthorn. He leads the way for them. And Mason Wood, he is a real player. He's improving every week you see him play. He's had 11 for North Melbourne.
Just joined us. We've had an explosive first quarter. I think that Luke Hodge might be on report. Jordan Lewis, this man here, definitely on report. Kick inside 50. Late goal's going to really hurt the Kangaroos. Bruce. Oh, look at the athleticism. Look at the skill of Bruce. Goal number 6. 2 for Bruce. And a 21-point quarter-time lead for the Hawks.
What those 1975 North Melbourne Premiership players are thinking in the stands. They used to have a real easy way of redemption. Can't do it now, but interesting thought. Rioli, clever tap, but Birchall had already gone past. Goldstein has certainly recovered, no question about that. Attlee, Swallow, he looks to have recovered as well. Deep inside 50, here they come again. Gibson was there. Nahas under Burgoyne pressure. Now Black, who, if you've just joined us, replaced the withdrawn Jared Waite. And we'll have a boundary throw in. So Hawthorn by 21 points here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, they kicked the last 4 goals of the game, the Hawks, after that last incident with Jordan Lewis. So the Kangaroos need to respond here, and that's what Nahas tries to do. It was a pretty clever centering kick, but back there was Schoenmakers. His kick set a bit of a task for Isaac Smith, who was good enough to get it to Segler, and now Suckling. Some good forward pressure, but the quality of Hawthorn able to work their way through it. Out wide, Shields now. Look at Hill. I reckon he'll take Mason Wood on. He turns around and says, "Good luck catching me." A couple of bounces. They've got a number back in defence, but back with a flight. Gunston has been very, very important so far in this match, Richard.
Oh, he's a quality player, and look at that.
That's a brilliant pass, isn't it? Roughhead had drifted down, and they split them open, didn't they, through half back. And a little too easy. I think the North defence again just got caught out.
Well, they had 20 inside 50s in that first quarter, and you can't let them have that. You need to have your pressure up to an elite level to stop this team, because they'll slice you up, and that's what they're doing. This guy here, he just makes the right decisions every time.
70 goals plus in each of the 3 premiership seasons, Jared Roughhead. He's a star. He really misses opportunities like this, but on that occasion he pushed it to the near side. And so a bit of a let-off for the Kangaroos there. One that Roughead would back in 9 times out of 10 from there.
Well, North Melbourne need to respond here, boys. They need to respond on the scoreboard. They need to respond in a physical sense. I don't mean go out and belt people, but respond tough over the footy, or else this isn't going to look good for them. It'll look like they've been beaten out of the park here, Richo.
The biggest thing for them now is just to pressure up Hawthorn. If you give them time and space, you can't compete with them. So at the moment, I reckon this quarter they just need to focus on their pressure, slow this Hawthorn team down a little bit.
Lee, you were close to the huddles. You got a good look at it. What was your feeling at ground level?
Yeah, Brad Scott was pretty calm, but I think his main thing, as you boys have just touched on, the challenge is to narrow their focus back onto this game and what they need to do tonight. Everything will play out during the week, and there'll be the match review panel will have a look at those incidents. That's irrelevant now. Get your focus back onto this quarter, what they need to fix up defensively, how they want to move the ball, how they go at the contest. Otherwise, Hawthorn will just blow this game apart.
So McMillan sends it long and deep, and Schoenmakers went back, dropped the mark. He was uncontested in the end. He really should have taken it.
Yeah, they're getting it how they want at the moment, Hawthorn. That long high kick to 55 metres out. They've got numbers back.
High tackle, North Melbourne, Goldstein, high tackle.
Okay, so they definitely are looking, the umpires, and I would have thought they would have discussed that at quarter time as a group and said, hey guys, we just need to keep an eye out on what's going on here at the moment, and I'm sure they're doing that perhaps a little more than they would usually. Here's Swallow, handball to Harvey, who lets it rip from 45. Gibson's there, the double-fisted punch away, has put one player down. I think it's Nahas, and the snap misses.
He's copped a couple tonight, Robbie Nahas.
Hodge anxious to get on. He and Lewis have started on the bench. It's unusual to have 2 players like that on the bench. We think maybe because of what happened in the first quarter. Hard to say.
Gibson's got it. Birchall wants the overlap run going, and Bruce, they're finding the hit-up target just a little too easily at the moment. The Hawks, Bruce happy to try and get around the mark at Cunnington, which he did again a little too easily. Frito read that pretty well, Richo.
That was better, though. They blocked the corridor up. They didn't let Hawthorn switch it in. They made them kick it long down the line. They win the ball back.
Yep, now they need to get their own running game going, and that's what Wright is hoping to do. Handball out wide. Now Wood tunnels one forward to Zeeble. McMillan's giving some running support. He's going to go further afield to Petrie. Still 2 kicks from home, Big Drew. He wants to get it moving quickly. In the goal square, he's got one he likes down there. Bastanak, front and centre, Higgins. Tackle applied by Bruce. Big Ben Brown's kick 1. Big Ben Brown's going to kick 2. And the Kangaroos get their first goal of the second quarter.
Guys, I just picked this up late in the first quarter. Jordan Lewis just egging the crowd on a little bit. The hands of the year. Obviously, the North Melbourne supporters getting into him after that incident with Todd Goldstein, but he's certainly not backing down, playing up to the crowd there.
Oh, look, if you're a North Melbourne fan sitting at home at the moment, I can't imagine what you're thinking. My mate Simon McLean is a mad North Melbourne guy. He'd be out of his chair at the moment. You can get involved on Twitter if you like. Here's Smith to Hill. They would be furious, I would imagine. Smith inside 50. Long, deep ball. Off hands North Melbourne. Shields gives chase with Wood.
Well, they've started this quarter off well, North Melbourne. They're leading the contested possession. They've cut Hawthorn off a couple of times when they've come forward. They've kicked the first goal, so that's a good start.
Sam Mitchell and Wood, the 2 leading possession getters for their respective sides here at the moment. Off hands, Shields was probably dealt with when didn't have the footy. Umpire said it was okay. Balled up again. You can see Shields appealing there.
He's got a real advantage here, getting his hand on it every time, Goldstein.
He is. They really need to stand up here, North. And they're just starting to wind themselves into this game. You get the feeling that's incorrect disposal. And a free to Ferrito. North Melbourne fans cheer.
And that's the only way to do it, just through that hard work, good pressure by North Melbourne, no cheap shots. But that's what Hawthorn do so well. They respond every time by doing the basic things well, and Sean Burgoyne has done it countless times throughout his career, just rebuilding that pressure, not letting North Melbourne have the easy exit. They're going to have to work hard, the Kangas, to get through.
Yeah, they love building pressure just with a repeat inside 50s. They've had it here for the last couple of minutes. Goldstein athletically trying to find a way through. Look at the Hawthorn tackle pressure. That's Hodge back on. He's up into Bastanak straight away. Well under Goldstein. Got it out to Thomas. Can they get some run going? Ball to Ben Brown. He's been important as the young forward, Lindsay Thomas, runs on and kicks one off the side of his boot. But they've cleared their defensive end. Harvey won't be able to keep that in alongside Durea.
Well, Big Goldie, he started this quarter on fire. He's had 5 disposals. He's had 3 clearances on his own. So he's the man that can get them going.
A lot of expectation that he would dominate McAvoy and Segler. Goldstein, he's in good form. He has to be the informed big man of the competition. Mitchell, uncharacteristic turnover, and right, he looks up and you can see that there is not a huge amount on offer. Brown puts the hand up and says, look, I'm on fire, I want it long, and he's going to have to compete with 3 or 4 in there. Brown, he did pretty well. He got in front of Gibson. Bastanak back in there. Higgins lurking. Swallow lays the tackle. Richo, and they'll get an opportunity about 20 metres out in front of the Kangaroo goal.
I reckon Wright missed an opportunity to get it in to Ben Brown really quickly, then one out. I reckon sometimes that long kick, if you don't do it straight away, you're better off not doing it at all.
Cunnington wanting it was Bastanak. Hodge with the body and then worries about the ball. It was a real good physical approach. Now Harvey, little one around the corner, couldn't get enough purchase on it. Fast hands, Bastanak, brilliant smother. I think it was Burgoyne. It was that quick, I couldn't see it. Now Mitchell, opportunity. Stolen here by Wood. Brown gives it to Black, faces the goals. Didn't really get enough on it. Scoreboard at the moment. Hawthorn by 14 points. See Josh Gibson just there before. Scored a behind in the opening quarter last week. The only time in 103 games for Hawthorn that he's registered a score. He did score when he played at North, I think 2 or 3 goals. Stratton and a beautiful lunging tackle on Ferrito. So it's a real contest here at the moment. Very, very even. Hard ton. Little kick over the top. Here they come. Gunston says, what have I got? Kicks it long and deep. An opportunity here for McAvoy. McAvoy and Black go at it. Did well, McAvoy. Little handball to Hill. Had it almost tapped out of his hands. Black went and got it again. Incorrect disposal. McAvoy looked at the umpire. He was hoping. Didn't get it. And now Gunston.
Yeah, he's been really important, Gunston. The Hawks are going to get it to Mitchell. We know how dangerous he is by foot. That's a clever kick. Duray can run on and pick it up. Will he be able to keep it in? Now he gets an opportunity. He's going to go back in the Suckling direction, and he's almost capable from there, Matt Suckling.
Oh, he can get the distance. No doubt, BT. Outside the left post here.
Yeah, it's a tough kick for a left footer, this one.
Really tough.
Sliding across the face. It's got, as you say, Richo, outside the left goal post is tough to work out in the brain.
Yet to kick a goal this year is Matt Suckling. Kicked 28 in the past 2 years, playing mainly in defence. He gets it right out to the left and couldn't bend it back far enough. And the result is a disappointing one for that man on screen. Kangaroos get it moving quickly. This is Wood. He's normally classy with the left foot. Looking for Petrie, and that's a big grab from Drew. Big size advantage Drew's got over Gibson. What can Brown do? It's waited nicely for him. He was too good for Sharma. So a couple of big contested marks, Richard.
Great kick by Petrie. Just wheeled and got it into a one-on-one.
Free kick, I think. Nah, it's just a little too unruly there on Stratton. Pushed him in the back and an obvious free kick.
Just lost their structure. Petrie marks it up on the wing and Brown marks it outside 50. They didn't have that next tall post to go to. You don't want to be kicking to Nahas in that situation.
Gee, Langford's kick is out of bounds. Gee, I thought that was on the full. It must have taken a piece of the line. And so we'll throw it in as a result. He was really impressive in the first quarter, Will Langford. Hasn't had as much of it here in this second quarter. 2 good teams, 2 top 4ers of last year competing here tonight. and one of them at the completion of this game will be 2 wins and 3 losses.
It's an unbelievable season, isn't it? Collingwood and the Dogs sitting at 4-1. I don't think anyone predicted that. It's great for the competition. The Dogs have got everyone talking. Collingwood last night, so even.
Shields roved it beautifully. Now Segler's got to beat Ferrito and happy to find the boundary again. So I'm sure Brad Scott would be really happy now, Das, that things have just clamped up a bit and they've got control of it.
I think the quarter time siren came at a really nice time for Brad Scott. He got a chance just to settle the group down, get back to the structures that they had set up pre-game. Zeeble tried to hack one out of mid-air. Shields went in a little lower on that occasion, swallow the skipper. Gibson, succession of handballs. Tarrant just had to hack this into a dangerous situation, and a bad bounce for Gibson. They might make them pay here. A bit of space for Lewis.
Lewis in the middle to Burgoyne. Burgoyne a little low bullet. Too much on it for Isaac Smith. Couldn't handle it. The counter-attack is on if they can clear it here. Thomas, some beautiful hand candy. What a magnificent kick to Pasternak in the middle. Petrie went down. Opportunity once again for North. Brown's got to do it in the air. He's coming from a long way back. Couldn't get it done. Now Gibson under Naha's pressure. Birchall's desperate to win the footy as well. Swallow to Brown. Had it knocked away by Schoenmakers. Burgoyne, Gibson, Mitchell demanding. And eventually the skipper in Hodge.
Just so steady down in defence, aren't they, the Hawks? You get Hodge back, you get Birchall involved now to Shields. They defended beautifully there. Well done, Jacobs. He did well to make a competition of it. Jack Siebel is being mentored by Glenn Archer. You've got to be going well if Glenn Archer tells you to just wind it back a bit. That's how hard Jack Siebel is. Now the Kangaroos to Boomer Harvey. Play man, then half back, steps around Roughhead. He normally is good by a foot, but well done, Stratton. He read it beautifully back and took a nice mark.
There's Hill. Can they reload again here, Hawthorn? Brewster's found a little bit of space if they can get enough penetration on the kick. An opportunity here now. Short ball looking for Gunston. Couldn't get him. Might have come from Hartung. Opportunity at the back. North to tidy up Zeeble. And he did control himself when Hodge launched earlier. You could see him almost thinking, I cannot get into trouble again. Glenn Archer has told me not to. There's Atley, little poker up the middle, so they get going again on the counter. Higgins has been really quiet tonight. An opportunity for him to move the ball forward. Harvey back to Higgins. He's a classy player. The kick needs to be precise. It's not too bad, Thomas. And Hill again.
Once again, it's the Hawthorn defence standing up. They are so organised back there. The best team defence in the competition. Mind you, they haven't got Lake, they haven't got Frawley. Suckling's going to take on Boomer Harvey. He decides that the handball option is a better one. Spills out now to Hartung. He hurried to kick forward. Look at Rioli. He loves a contested situation to Suckling. Well done. Yeah. Swallow read it nicely.
The pressure's really good here at the moment, North Melbourne. They're putting the Hawks under pressure, and even Hawthorn make mistakes when you have that sort of pressure on.
And North Melbourne, they're a little bit on top here, but it's that last kick inside forward 50. You guys mentioned the Hawthorn defenders organising really well, but if North Melbourne can just execute that last kick a little bit better, they'll start putting a bit of scoreboard pressure on the Hawks. Then they start panicking and they start working as individuals as opposed to working as a team. That's what they need to do.
So which team here loses patience? That's the question at the moment. Because at the moment they're both playing very controlled games and not high-risk footy at all. Hawthorn by 16 points. We had a collective 9 goals kicked in the first quarter. In 17 minutes of footy here, we've had 1 goal kicked. Here's Gibson, a funny one-handed little handball. Got away with it. Here's Hartung again. The second time that he sends it forward. Lost his man there, Rioli. Once again, took his eye off the ball. An opportunity to recover. Puts it out in front of Gunston. He's got the runner in, Isaac Smith. He fell over. Just couldn't hold his feet any longer. Waiting for Isaac to arrive, and North Melbourne regain control, or do they? Yes, against Roughhead.
Just the 1 goal kick in 17 minutes of this second quarter. It's high intensity, it's tough, and the Kangaroos have just been able to maintain a bit of possession here. Umpire has called McMillan to play on. He's going to head towards Petrie. Drew's hands look better tonight to Goldstein. Gibson, this is the area of his game. He needs a bit more composure by foot, and Liam Shields wrapped him up. He had to do better there, Richo.
Yeah, I reckon he got his hand to that, though.
So the free kick was paid, incorrect disposal. Rioli's all on his own, and he's going to mark it uncontested. So, well, he just slipped in behind the defence. Boomer Harvey was in the area, and a couple of times tonight they've just been able to find space in their forward 50, Hawthorn, and that is going to be trouble. Richo, what do you think of this?
Well, I reckon he got his hand to it. Couldn't see there behind it, but he's saying that he got his hand to it. Let's have a look. He did. He handballed it. So Rioli kicks a goal. That hurts.
It does. It's the Hawks first to the second quarter. Margin back to 22 points.
Cyril coming off the ground. Gee, that hurts North Melbourne. They've been outstanding to compete with Hawthorn this quarter. It kicked the only goal. But that's the problem. They keep coming, and they're a little bit stiff there. I reckon Gibson was tackled, but got his hand to it. Should not have been a holding the ball decision. So the question here is, did Gibson get a hand to it? Yes, he did. He disposed of it. And Rioli's standing inside 50 on his own, as often is when there's a turnover there, and North didn't deserve that goal to be kicked against them that time.
Equal biggest margin of the game here at 22 points. North Melbourne with the clearance, and it's come down the Petrie direction. Thomas gives chase as well. He arrives before Duray, but didn't keep his feet. Petrie going back to say sorry to Duray as he hit the perimeter piping on.
Massive 5 minutes here for North Melbourne. They've been really good this quarter. They haven't been able to take anything off the lead. 1 goal each. Don't want Hawthorn to kick a couple more going into half-time. Got to keep the foot on the pedal with their pressure.
Roughhead thought about the outside runner on a strat and then regained his balance. Tarrant here at half-back. Had plenty of time to look at where he wanted to go. Petrie took nearly his last breath ever here last year on this ground, Richo. Ran out of oxygen. There goes Brown, high footy. Up they fly again. Good mark, but there's a free paid. It won't be to North Melbourne. It'll go to Hodge. One of the many villains here tonight, Hodgie. He'll love it. It'll motivate him.
He gets it to Billy Hawthorn, Richo.
Just a couple of these inside 50s. You probably want a longer kick going to Brown or Petrie, but a couple of the entries have gone to Nahas and Thomas. You want them doing the work at ground level. You want one of the big boys to bring it to ground.
Duray called to play on. He did well to get past Gibson. Perhaps a little too easily. Scotty Thompson, a good intercept mark, using the right spot, the right time there. They sweep it out right. Ferrito is going to get it moving to Brown. Looks further afield, and then he's deceptively quick, Brown. Had enough speed to get around Mitchell, but the disposal by foot wasn't great. Here's Roughhead pushed up the ground. Short one onto Shields, not required 15. Gets it back to Rough, to Isaac Smith, and now Gibson. And it's the Hawks in a bit of a slow play here. Back to Birchall. Segler. So what's he got in front of him? The Kangaroos have been able to steady here, push some numbers back, and Segler, we just had 2 disposals last week. That's already disposal number 7 for that man, and it's not his finest.
Gee, Sam Mitchell furious then. That ball should have gone from Segler out the other side of the ground. They had 2 free players out the other side and didn't activate it. Opportunity here now for Wright. 3 minutes just under remaining. Ferrito, centre half back, sneaky little handball. They're away here now, North Melbourne. Once again, a kick without great direction. And Birchall into the middle, sees Mitchell, unmanned. Pretty nonchalant handball through to Hodge. Hodge from inside the centre square, great kick. Gunston, really good hands over the top of Atley.
Gee, it's important in footy to get run from behind, and that handball received there to Luke Hodge running flat out through the middle of the ground. It just makes it so much easier for the forward line to operate. You can't stop that. Defenders hate that. They can't set up. But as a forward, that's exactly what you want. Run from behind, handball receives through that middle part of the ground.
Sam Mitchell playing game 265 tonight, moves past Peter Knights on the list of games played for Hawthorn. He was instrumental in this play. Gunston lines up for his second, and this to make it a 28-point margin nearing half-time. We know he's good, but this time he hits the post. Just a little awkward in that drop of the footy and approach there, Richo, didn't he?
He doesn't mind the low ball. He does kick them low from that distance, but I reckon he stabbed that more than he normally would.
Just the difference in delivery inside 50 is quite stark. As Hodge comes in, he puts it in exactly the spot Gunston wants it. The Kangaroos have had a lot of high up and under balls that haven't favoured their forwards. McMillan love to pinch one back here, the Kangaroos. Thompson, that handball, is going to link up okay. Right, pushing through half back to Goldstein. So now this is the kick that's let them down a little bit through the middle part of the ground. Cunnington, Hawks are really good at getting back and structuring up. It's a kick again to a small forward who's just not in the right spot, Richo. And Lindsay Thomas was never going to be able to mark that.
Ben Brown made a really good lead at the ball carrier, and he just needed to lower his eyes.
So he did well, Akos, and we know how courageous he is.
So you have a look at this here. You can see Benny Brown there. He made a pretty good lead and then went long to a 2-on-1 to a smaller opponent.
So here we are. It's been a really tight quarter, just a goal kicked by each club in this quarter. After 9 goals and a lot of action in the first quarter, this, as Richo has described, is a real arm wrestle here at the moment. And which side is going to go for it first? Which side is going to lose patience? Who will it be? Stay with us. This is going to have a dramatic conclusion. You can feel it. Swallow. Kick is wide, not his best effort. Burgoyne did well, kept it alive here, only for Nahas. Went the flying banana from the boundary.
Well, the positive at half-time is they've only given up 11 inside 50s this quarter, North Melbourne, to Hawthorn. It was 20 in the first. So they're playing it the right way now, and they need to do that in the second half.
So there's been exactly this sort of game that you're seeing here in the second quarter. Short kicking, trying to find a loose, trying to get some run. Both sides playing very, very close footy. There's Isaac Smith, a man that can open you up, and expect and look for him in the second half to be one of the playmakers. Incredible half of football with 2 really exciting teams.
A couple of incidents that will absolutely be looked at. What can the Kangaroos do? How will they respond? The Hawks, they don't lose 2 in a row. Almost doesn't happen ever. So here we go now. Second half, Swallow, Hodge. What a great tackle that was from the skipper, Hodge.
Yeah, just had his arm pinned, had no chance of getting rid of that one, Andrew Swallow.
I'd love to get it to Birchall. And what a classy left foot kick that man is to Lewis. Here the fans, from the Kangaroos' point of view, they haven't forgotten the first half. Gibson's run hard from all the way down at full-back. Kick to Langford wasn't ideal, and Cunnington now. Can he get around Will Langford? He did it pretty well. It's powerful through the hips as Cunnington. Langford got up, got a fingernail on, and look at the courage of Zeeble. That was Glenn Archer-like. And that man has got as much courage as anyone running around in AFL football at the moment. It was on display again.
So Archer's his mentor, did you say?
Archer is giving him some advice, Archer, just trying to wind him back a bit so he doesn't get injured.
I was absolutely petrified of Glenn Archer on the ground.
Hodge, beautiful play through the middle. And he was a fearsome character, Richo. Here is Suckling.
Just get the eyes going, BT.
Beautiful ball to Brust. He had a good glare, that's for sure. The great Glenn Archer. And this was nice use of the footy here.
He would have loved a game like tonight, Arch, wouldn't he? It would have just really suited him.
He would have been in amongst it. That's.
Oh, yeah.
Scotty Thompson need to get a bit of body on Bruce there. Just let him lead up at the footy too easily, I reckon.
Easy kick by his standards. Well, we have seen Gunston miss tonight. This one is online, though. Bruce now has 3 goals and a 29-point Hawthorn lead.
So many goal kickers in this Hawthorn team. That's a good start. Luke Bruce, over 50 goals last year as a small forward. Gee, that's hard to do. Not always having the ball delivered your way. You've got to really search hard to get the footy inside 50 and kick 3 tonight.
Well, if North Melbourne are going to win this one, they just need to put more pressure on that kick. You can't have Matty Suckling just using the ball so easily inside forward 50. Dangerous forwards, the Hawks, but they're even more dangerous when there's no pressure on that ball carrier.
Zeeble again committed his body and drew the free kick. Jack Zeeble gets the ball moving deep inside 50. Petrie on a lead at the back. Boomer Harvey. Higgins trying to flick it out to Harvey. Cunnington, if it sits, is a chance to score. Duray, he was bumped off it as well back there by Burgoyne. And that footy won't be coming out. Look at the Hawks here. It's a great shot of just how well they get back en masse to defend. They've got players everywhere around the footy. It spills out to Higgins. Could they get the quick reply? Higgins, who's had a pretty quiet night so far, will be disappointed with that effort.
So Birchall. Now Burgoyne. Gee, that's a good kick from Burgoyne to Brust. Low and flat. Got there really quickly. Gunston. Umpire said he stepped off the line, so still didn't panic and had great composure to Lewis, to Mitchell now. That is a really good kick from Mitchell as well. Segler is able to fingertip it.
Well, that's just the Hawthorn play from one end of the ground to the other with just precision skills. I reckon there were 4 or 5 kicks in this play from their defensive 50 that were just perfect. And there's not much you can do when you're the opposition. They just use the ball so well.
15 gone.
So Segler lines up. Must start his approach before the 30 runs out. Otherwise, it'll simply be called play on. Segler from right on 50. He's got that on line as well. So really good kicking early here from the Hawks.
Well, that's one way to beat Todd Goldstein. Segler is a mobile player. He needs to use that to his advantage, and he pushed forward and made Goldstein play as a defender. An elite ruckman, but Goldie would not like having to defend inside the defensive 50. Great effort by Segler.
So good look there since all the drama, and Jordan Lewis and Luke Hodge, 7 of the last 8 goals have gone Hawthorn's way, and John Segler's kicked 2 of them. He's had a good night on Goldstein. Segler, he's stood up to the challenge pretty well. They go forward again. The Hawks, this time picked up by McMillan to Tarrant. Really need to get moving here, North Melbourne. They need to find their running game, and again, they're just held up. The Hawks would have just curtailed the run. Mason Wood's kick was pretty good. Swallow. Umpire said no free kick. Quick kick from Hodge. Again, they look so dangerous here on the rebound. Isaac Smith to Rioli. He's been fairly quiet, but always dangerous. Look at the foot skills from this side. They are absolutely magnificent. And Gunston, he is tearing them apart so far tonight.
Yeah, well, this was the turnover here. Was it a free? No, I think he got a piece of the ball. But just again, the kicking skills are unbelievable. Hodges' little kick in the middle, little toe poke that got the ball out into space, set this all up.
He's taken 10 marks tonight, Jack Gunston, lining up for his 2nd goal. He's been a very effective player. Beautiful set shot at kick. Normally that one's got some right to left bend, and characteristically he has kicked 3 behinds tonight, Jack Gunston.
Normally kicks it, doesn't have that, a lot of that bend in his normal kick, so
they normally go gun barrel straight.
Whether he's caressing them a little more than he does usually. McMillan, right fast hands. Both times. Thomas now. Zeeble into the middle. Finds Wood. Missed Harvey. Swallow there to back up and support. The run is good. Lindsay Thomas, a really good user of the footy. Opportunity for Higgins to push off Birchall. Can he straighten? He can. Class goal there from Higgins and the Roos.
Yeah, nice work there from Sean Higgins. Hasn't had his biggest night tonight. That was a good bit of run and carry through the middle of the ground there by North Melbourne. And a really much needed goal. It was starting to get pushed out too much on the scoreboard to Hawthorn. But although Lindsay Thomas missed that kick going inside 50, at least they got some run and carry through the middle. So this play here, the handball receives there where a player is running flat out through the middle of the ground. Most of the time result in a goal. Thomas didn't hit the target, but Higgins was good enough to turn Birchall inside out.
Well, they need 2 in a row here, the Kangaroos. Put some pressure back on the Hawks. Goldstein and big boy McAvoy. Goldstein emerged with it, but the pressure, they've worked Goldstein over well tonight. He hasn't been as effective as he has been previously this season. Look at Hill. He's happy to take on Jacobs. He had a bit of foot work going on, but forced over the line. So Rioli, he's holding his mouth behind play. Copped a bit of an errant head. It's a large head too, McAvoy's. Cunnington hacks the kick forward. Got the numbers back here. Sweeping it up Duray. He's a natural left footer. Hodge, just like a ball, tried to force his way through Harvey. Harvey did pretty well to corral him, but again, they set up so well defensively, this Hawthorn unit.
He could have gone left, right, or up the middle then, Gibson. So many options once they do force the turnover. And Birchall is told by his teammates they want him to go to Gibson in the middle, but he eventually finds something further down in Shields. Shields gets a free run on it, so this will go to the top of the square. Big boy McAvoy is there. Was he interfered with? Umpire said no. Now Zeeble. Got to be precise here to Tarrant.
You guys mentioned that precision Hawthorn kicking. They've had 34 disposals this quarter, running at just under 90% efficiency. Just elite. North Melbourne, not quite the same there.
And Lingy, what's the average by foot effective or possession rate in a game?
A really good aim is around 70%. 75% is high. Anything under about 63% is considered pretty poor. So going at 90% is absolute elite.
Just here in this quarter, Harvey to Nahas. Nahas can go. Only 1 or 2 between he and the goal. He got it over the top to Big Drew, and he'll mark comfortably. Good counter-attack footy from the Roos. Das called it. They need back-to-back goals, and Drew should just go back and slot the set shot, because it's of ultra importance here for North Melbourne. Haven't kicked back-to-back goals since the 10 and 12-minute marks of the first quarter.
15, Drew.
274 games, 365 goals. Petrie needs that to bend left to right, and it won't.
They have been able to get a bit of transition going those last 2 inside 50s, North Melbourne.
Birchall, the designated kicker, is able to find Mitchell coming up for disposal, number 20, Sam Mitchell. You can hear the call now by Mason Wood onto it. Strong in the body length, but he managed to find the handball back to Mitchell, which was a high degree of difficulty. Pass swallow to McAvoy. Something always positive happens when Burgoyne gets involved to Shield. And now Hill, watch the leg speed here. He's going to be happy to take on Scotty Thompson, I reckon. Chipping footy inside to Lewis. And Lewis, who has been pretty quiet, it have to be said, is going to centre this one up. And that, again, the difference in these two sides is just the quality kicking. As you and Lingy have pointed out, Richo, they are just so good by foot.
Yeah, and we keep going on about it, obviously. But in the second quarter, it was one thing North Melbourne did do. They got Hawthorn's efficiency down a little bit, and they were right in the game, but it's so hard to do for 4 quarters. They're just relentless with it.
29 disposals, a couple of goals last week, 10 score involvements. Probably Hawthorn's best player in a losing side last week. He's now kicked a couple, Isaac Smith.
Check to make sure it hasn't deflected off the goalpost.
Okay. So score review. The goal umpire wants to just double check, and no issues there. I think.
Oh, hang on, did it?
So I think it hit.
Okay.
I think it might have.
Just have a look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2.
I think it's hit. Good pickup by the goal umpire.
Good review.
This is what the review is designed for.
Yeah.
Yep, great example of the reason it's brought in. So the goal umpire had some doubt, and he will have that confirmed. I'm with you two now. That's categoric.
Oh, definitely changed spin and direction a little, didn't it? So we think it's clear.
Retrieve complete. Confirmed goal.
What? Oh, no. Oh, boy. Wow-wee. Jeez.
It's like it's an optical illusion, is it?
Brad Scott, that's the perfect reaction from Brad Scott.
The one from this side, from the ground, looked like it definitely hit. The one from behind wasn't as categoric.
Isaac Smith just walked past me on the bench and he was having a bit of a look at the replay too. He said it was definitely a goal. He was confident, but as you boys said, that replay...
That one there wasn't as categoric as the one from the other side, where I reckon it looked like it definitely hit.
I'm not... I just think... that I must be seeing things, but yeah, that's deflected. And I'm not sure how you can call that a goal. Anyway, here we go. Opportunity for Langford, streaming through from 50. McAvoy plays on! He's gone the inverted reverse torp and didn't get much of it. Big boy McAvoy missed a sitter.
That's not great for Ruckman, that, isn't it?
Oh, Das.
It doesn't help out.
Your mob, Ruckman should never try and bounce the ball or play on.
Yeah, I'm going to have to cop that tonight, I think. Oh, boys, just go back and kick the goal. Well, let's see what the Kangaroos can do. They're streaming forward via Atley to Gibson on 50. He might get the opportunity to play on here. Gibson kicking is normally the area of his game. It can be a challenge. It's Nahas with the toe poked and get boots a ball. Score, so the margin 35 points. We're about the halfway mark of the third quarter. The Kangaroos really need to get moving here.
If you can't dive off the 10-metre platform, don't attempt to, Das.
Yes, fair call.
And that should be a put in a basket for all ruckmen, I think. It just doesn't happen quick enough, Richo.
And then after the game, when they go out the ruckman, they shouldn't go near the dance floor either, Das.
Yeah, no, we'll cop that too tonight, I think.
Luke Hodge getting a bit of a squirt from the crowd there as well. So it's time now for North to stand up. They're 35 down. They've had 3 goals kicked against their 1 in this quarter. We're halfway through it. And something needs to happen mighty quick for them, or Hawthorn are going to continue to try and penetrate by foot. That's a little sweep up throw. Gee, I'm not sure about that. That was a long ball forward to Gunson, gets a good bounce. Still got boot to ball, but it hit the post. Oh, the goal umpire doesn't know where to look. He doesn't know where to look.
Just give us a sec. Just give us a sec out, please. Just, what did you say? I believe it would have been behind because of the contact. Yeah. Can we check to make sure on the vision, please? Sure. Can you check it? Hit the post. Hit the post.
It hit the post.
Score review.
Is this the new common sense rule, boys?
The Eddie Betts no cup to see.
It's going to be underway.
So it's hit that post and the umpire.
That's the goal.
It hit the umpire first.
So after the Eddie Betts incident in the NAB Cup, where it ricocheted off the umpire and bounced back into play and was called play on, they have gone the common sense option, and if it hits the goal umpire, we assume it would have been a goal, which it can from there.
Yep.
That should count as a goal, is my understanding.
And he definitely got it below the knee, Richo, so that seems clear.
Review complete. The score is a goal.
Yes, and correct decision. Gunston scores, Hawthorn by 41.
So we've had some controversy here. The score reviewer has had his work cut out. I'm convinced the first one that there was a deflection. You've got to do well to convince me otherwise. But this one, I think that is the common sense rule. That was going through for a goal. He half shinned it, didn't he?
Oh, it came off the knee the first, but then it dribbled down onto the shin.
And that was always going through for a goal. Umpire off him back off his arm onto the goalpost. So what's the social media feedback? You can get involved at SNF7.
Was it a goal? Did it hit the post?
All right, let us know what you think. We thought it did. Kangaroos in the meantime. I'm with you, BT. You get challenged physically. They had a couple of incidents where we're going to talk about a lot this week, Luke Hodge and Jordan Lewis, but they're the games you want to stand up, and you want to stand up and show some fight. And it has to be said, since that moment, it has been all Hawthorn. We've still got plenty of time here, the Kangaroos, to claw their way back in and make this a memorable occasion for them. Jacobs just getting corralled so well
Their effort's really good, North. Their contested ball's really good. It's just the fact that Hawthorn are cleaner with the ball and they've got more options when they go forward.
Thanks, Jared. That's a cut.
They've really cut them up by foot, haven't they, the Hawks? And you can see here they just are able to corral them into a slow, long ball down the line. It's not ideal. Zeeble did really well, though. He drifted in front, just too far out to score, though, Jack Zeeble. He's got a lead that he likes. It's going to come from Cunnington, who worked hard forward. He got off Isaac Smith, and that's a better build-up for the Kangaroos, being Cunnington, the best and fairest winner from last year. Chance to score.
Been 8 goals to 2, Dar, since that moment with Jordan Lewis, so in Hawthorn's way, so they really haven't responded.
Ben Cunnington, as I said, the North Melbourne best and fairest winner from last year. Capable goal kicker. And this is one you just simply have to kick. Cunnington, can he keep the Kangaroos' hopes alive? Cunnington kicks a big goal for the Kangaroos.
Well, he's a hard, tough unit, Ben Cunnington. 4 clearances and 11 contested possessions tonight. It's really good as a midfielder when you can get forward, take some marks on the lead and kick goals. It's something that he'd be looking to add to his game. 42 goals in 103 games, Cunnington.
Bird's eye supporter view there under the terraces here, and things just keep happening in this game, regardless of the score, and it is a very gettable 35 points here at the moment. There's been so many other little bits and pieces to go along with this game. Zeeble over the top of Langford. Gee, he had an opportunity to get rid of that. Very quick whistle. Zeeble, third man up. Rough head. Bit of a tap handball. Wonder whether that was a little throw as well. Gee, there was a scoop-up throw there before and the other play, and now that one. Gunston. Handball to Bruce, ran into Hill. Woods there. Hill as well. Keeps it alive, but North Melbourne through McMillan. Bastanak. Right. So they build. Can they find an opening to get through here? Atley must handle and slot the ball by foot, and he does. They're through here, North Melbourne. Cunnington goes to Brown. He can mark and play on. He's going to have a 50-metre kick if he goes for home. Got it to 45. Lot of angle. Didn't try. Centering ball off hands Petrie. Now Wood is a left footer. Little caressing footy. Petrie, goal. Got it. Roos have got a couple in a row. Back to 29 points.
The North fans, they're not going away. They're hanging in there. Drew Petrie getting a goal from play. He'll be happy with that. Big Benny Brown that continues to work hard. He just had too much time running in to have that shot at goal, Benny Brown. Got it to a dangerous spot.
So back-to-back goals for the Kangaroos. First time they've done that since the 14-minute mark of the first quarter, and it just keeps a bit of interest in this game. 29 points, very gettable. Can they surge forward again here? Goldstein, it was a well-directed centre bounce hit out. Bastanak sliding in hard was Boomer Harvey. Zeeble, Burgoyne the other way. Big clearance to be won here. Well done, Jack Zeeble. He drives them forward again out the back. Aaron Black's got a good sit. Hands to it. Couldn't quite complete it. Drew for a couple in a row. And Showmakers did well. Back to save the day. Lindsay Thomas gets up. A bit of a knee issue. You know, Luke Hodges got the footy. And I'll tell you what, the Kangaroos have got a bit of a head of steam up at the moment. If they can capitalise a couple of goals. Josh Gibson's going off with a face full of claret. We'll get a look at that in a minute. Cameron Ling will be all over it. Ball comes out in the rough head direction. Thompson did well not to give away a free kick.
Well, the North Melbourne fans are sensing something. They've had Hawthorn tied up here for a few minutes now. Tarrant's going to make that even an extra minute or two as Gibson gets some treatment right in front there. He can see him sitting on the bench.
He'd be wrapped with a broken snoz there, Gibbo.
Tarrant goes high and deep. Not a great direction in the kick, Lewis. Centre half back. Now the counter attack's on. We know they're good by foot. They spread magnificently as well. Birchall to Hawthorn. Hawthorn nothing wide, so brings it back. Great disciplined play by the Hawks. Duray, who is another player that may well end up with some explaining to do out of that first quarter.
So Brad Hill came off the interchange bench there. That's why he was so far out on his own.
There's Roughhead to Langford. Thought about Isaac Smith. Look at it open up in the corridor. Look at it open up. North Melbourne get there to plug it up. It was really well done in the end by the Roos defence. Now, Thompson took his eye off the ball and then infringed in the back. Free kick, Hawthorn, Hawthorn.
Just panicked there by North Melbourne, just kept on handballing it. Obvious free kick against Scotty Thompson. North Melbourne guys, I reckon, have activated the concussion sub for Andrew Swallow, so Kane Turner is just coming onto the ground now. That's 20 minutes North Melbourne have got to assess the skipper.
Good news there as Turner comes on. Hawthorn against all the flow of the play, really, this one. So this is a little bit of a dagger here from Billy Hawthorn. 35-metre kick. A little close to the man on the mark and sprays it right. So a let-off for the Roos with 3.5 remaining here in the third quarter. So the pressure building on the Roos. They need to get it out. They need to do it cleanly and quickly, because eventually this efficient and really good Hawthorn lineup will force the turnover. Some gymnastics happening there from Billy Hawthorn.
So a couple of minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Kangaroos, you sense they just love to pinch a late goal here and going with a bit of momentum. Cunnington just a little overzealous on that occasion of Billy Hawthorn. The recipient of a push in the back free kick. Good opportunity for Billy to try and find a permanent spot in this very classy side. Hodge was playing the sweeper role at half-back at the moment. Isaac Smith, that's a little bit too much space and too much time. And Will Langford just took his eyes off that one momentarily. It comes back now. Shields to Lewis. Robin Nahas ran him down from behind, and they got away with one here, I think, the Kangaroos' defence.
How good was that kick from Isaac Smith? It just got to him too quickly. Wasn't ready for it, Will Langford. That was a rocket kick.
Good look at the numbers around the footy here. Goldstein has been one out tonight against McAvoy, and Segler's been pretty good as well. Out wide was a pretty good one, and Mason Wood.
That was a well-worked clearance out the back from Goldstein, had numbers.
Once again, the kicking from North Melbourne is just the difference in this game. They miss targets. They kick a lot of up and under balls inside forward 50. And when the Hawks get it, they just make you pay every single time.
So as Lingy has pointed out, that man there, Swallow, is currently recovering under the concussion rule, which allows him 20 minutes before they have to make a more permanent decision. There goes Zeeble again. Opportunity here for Big Drew. He was tackled by Hodge really aggressively. Birchall to Duray, and Duray wide to Hill. So do they want to go in this last minute or not? Or are they secure in the fact they lead it by 29 points? Hill trying to take on Turner there with the fresh legs. McAvoy and Thompson go at it right on the bench. A lot of jumperies going on there. And Thompson not backing down. Big boy just perches over the top of him. Goldstein, 43 seconds, and there's something about this margin at the moment, Das. It's a little weird. It's a 29-point ball game. Guess what the score was back in the 75 premiership, except North were in front. The margin was 29 points, Das.
There you go.
North's way on that particular day. That's where it is at the moment, except the Hawks lead it by 29. Stratton inside 50. Now Rioli gathers, gives it to Roughhead, round the corner. Good kick. Roughhead goal. Big time goal with 10 seconds on the clock. Hawthorn by 35.
That's Scott working his way down to the interchange bench. 8 seconds left. Let's have a look at Spuddy there. He's just got tangled up. And Ruffy hasn't had his best night. First goal for the night, being pretty well held by Robbie Tarrant. Second, sorry. Tarrant's done a pretty good job, but...
So back for one last go. Only a few seconds remain on the clock here, and I don't think there'll be any more score. There won't now as Jacobs takes the footy forward.
Going to research.
Goldstein, he tried to slap it in the Zeeble direction. Look at Rioli, burst out of the centre, right foot kick. Set Gunston a task. He's been very, very dangerous as Jack Gunston. Really athletic, and that pass to Langford, who took it really well. And we'll go back and have an opportunity to kick the first goal of the last quarter. Will Langford.
Had a massive first quarter, Will Langford, tonight. Really helped the Hawks get off to a good start. A little bit quieter since then.
21 disposals and kicked 3 goals in last year's grand final, Will Langford.
15, Will, 15!
Play him anywhere on the ground.
Stay, Sean.
So there's a good look at what confronts Will Langford. This will be a real nail in the coffin if he can get it straight. Never really looked like it.
So Andrew Swallow just discussing with the medical staff. 13 minutes they've got to make the decision. Turner's been on for 6, 13 to go before they have to either put a red vest on him or let him play again. So Andrew Swallow looks okay, I've got to say, but the doctors will decide his fate. What do you think, Richo? Hawthorn by 36.
Yeah, well, look, the Hawks are clearly the better team here tonight. North's effort's been really good, but just a little bit more polished from Hawthorn.
Mitchell, after some Rioli ruck work.
Like, you look at all of the numbers everyone likes to look at in footy, and we shouldn't always judge it by that, but North are +6 in clearances, they're +13 in contested possession. So they're doing a lot of things right, but it's just the ability to transition it and score and hold on to the ball, which Hawthorn have done better.
Sensational crowd here tonight. Goldstein again. Lewis came very close to the hip and shoulder to the head then. And Goldstein was sort of half asking the question. It was very, very iffy situation as those two come together. Medical staff in deep conversation. No doubt explaining to Andrew Swallow if there are any consequences or any doubts. Doctors will be giving him the right advice.
McAvoy-Segler match up against Goldstein's been pretty good, I reckon, too. He hasn't had the dominant display that he had against Geelong.
Yeah, I think Segler would be pretty happy with his output. Kicked a couple of goals, and they've been able to curtail Todd Goldstein, who's been a super player this year so far. Again, we're looking at just the quality of Hawthorn.
Segler with the 2 goals has really helped. Got one of them from the ruck, one when he was actually starting forward.
Duray looking for Mitchell. Mentioned just the polish of the Hawks has been the difference. The effort's been there, the Kangaroos, but some of their decision making again. Now, what can Harvey do? Releases Higgins, good chase on from Suckling, short ball on, and again, just their foot disposal has just been not up to standard for a side that has aspirations of competing against the best in the business. I'm sure Gibbo's going to enjoy that one.
It's like the Doctors' Union get together, I reckon, and so let's make...
He's a reasonably vain man, Gibbo, fair to say.
Have a look at this. Hodge in front of the Hawthorn crowd this time. Gets the thumbs up. I want to ask you a question about Brent Harvey too, gents, and just tell me what you think as Duray goes forward outside 50. Beautiful ball. McAvoy over the top of Goldstein. Goldstein did well. McAvoy did a little better though. It hit the deck. Little bit of a panic handball out the back. Gunston's got it. Guess what? Another one for the Hawks.
Scotty Thompson, he copped a little whack back here on the wing as that ball was moving forward into the Hawthorn forward line. Jack Gunston kicks his 3rd goal as a result of it. He's not too well there though, Scott Thompson. So here it is here. It was just a fair hip and shoulder, but Scotty Thompson then clashed heads with the hip of Duray, was it? I couldn't quite see who that was, but That was why he was feeling the effects after that goal.
Little drive-by, wasn't it, in the end? An accidental one. And Jack Gunston's been enormous tonight. He's had a massive influence over this one. Kicked 3 goals, but they really struggled to curtail his influences. Suckling, Isaac Smith. Oh, what an enormous athlete he is. He's a great runner. He's powering on.
Hawks have had 5 players again with multiple goals tonight. Just so hard to stop scoring.
Shields take on McMillan. McMillan did pretty well just to hold his run momentarily.
So just want to ask you about Brent Harvey, boys. And I mean, his numbers have been good this year. He's been averaging 22. Do you think he's still got all of the things he needs to continue to play at this level?
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
While his numbers are still where they are, why wouldn't he keep playing?
I like him in defence, BT. I've seen what Matthew Boyd's been doing at the Bulldogs at this stage of his career. And
Had him by the arm.
he can go back, he can play on a small forward and run and create from there. I think that might be... And he's doing a lot of it now. Brad Scott's onto it. I'd like to see him play that for the rest of the year.
Perhaps we normally see him in a lot of space, Richo, and that's been locked down, so he's getting his possessions in a different manner.
Yeah, well, he loves to have running bounces. His scoreboard impact is down a little bit this year. Only 1 goal from 4 games, Slingy.
Yeah, guys, they've pulled the pin with Andrew Swallow. He's put the red vest on, so he's done for the night. He copped that knock to the head when in the accidental swinging of the arm in the tackle. So Kane Turner's now right to go for the rest of the game.
Rough head, coughed up the ball to McMillan, who kicks it forward to Ben Brown, Shoalmakers. It's been a big night for Ryan Shoalmakers. A good opportunity for him. Free kick going the way of Kane Turner, the starting sub.
When you ask that question about Harvey, BT, only the club really know. They know exactly what role he's playing and the expectations of him, but his raw numbers are looking pretty good, except though he's been a goal-a-game man for his whole career. Only had 1 goal so far this year.
Well, let's ask you, Lee. You spent a lot of time at North Melbourne last year. You ran their leadership program, but has Boomer Harvey got a different role to play? Is he still guaranteed a spot in their side?
Oh, at the moment, certainly, yeah. Well, he's still got his speed and he can still cover the ground and put the pressure on as much as he does, and also find the footing. Oh, Luke Bruce does not need that when you're down on the ground hurt. That's not great by the umpire, but you know, I think Boomer's certainly got a role there, and while he can still run, he'll continue to have one.
Gee, a player would get fined if he did that, and I think that's what happened to Puopolo the other day in the warm-up as well. 37 years of age, Boomer Harvey. Tarrant out the back. There is an opportunity for Hawthorn to score. Bruce to Isaac Smith, very, very unselfish. Went wide and found Gunston, and Gunston likewise too unselfish. Just a little bit of Hollywood about those couple of possessions rather than just getting the job done. Here's Wright. Not 15, said the umpire, so Hodge in the one-arm chicken has no other way of getting rid of it. And the umpire's pinged him and given it to Lindsay.
So here's Harvey, as we mentioned, playing more across half-back to Atley, now to Jacobs. This is what Atley normally does well. He's going to take him on. He got around Stratton, kick to half-forward. Woods pushed down the ground. He get a free kick here. Mason Wood. Too far out to score. Just see the Hawthorn midfield and just get back en masse. They block space well. Ben Brown got up over Shoalmakers. Hasn't had a lot of one-on-one chances, but when he has, Richo, he's looked pretty capable again.
Yeah, he has. He's been solid again tonight, Ben Brown. As we have a look at this tackle on Luke Hodge. Driven into the ground, his left shoulder there. I think he's a little bit sore getting up from that.
Kicked the Kangaroos' first goal, Ben Brown. He kicked 1 in the second quarter. Can he make it a third? It'll be a nice return for Brown. He lines it up and he kicks it straight through. 3 goals to Ben Brown.
So 3 goals is a good return from 10 possessions for Ben Brown. It's not just about that. He competes in the air and makes sure that he at least neutralises each contest when it goes his way.
Looks a real good player, Richard.
Yeah, I like him. He's got a good goal-kicking routine. He really gets good momentum through, and he's pretty reliable in front of goal.
Hawthorn have jumped with their sub as well. Taylor Duray subbed out with the red vest on. Brendan White crossed into the game now. Obviously keen to get as much game time into Whitecross as they can as he builds some form throughout this season. Still coming back from his knee injury.
Yes, Whitecross was a late replacement for Huopolo in this game here as well. Here's Thompson, little handball to Harvey. An example of this half-back work from him. Not the best example. Isaac Smith picked up Suckling, thought about the left. Now Gunston clean at ground level. It was a difficult ball to get hold of. Both players had to pull up then. You see that? They were coming front on. There would have been head-high contact. And I think these two didn't pull up, though. They kept going at each other. And the result was a double collision. Both players saw it was an almighty clash. Bang! And the umpire has held up play here. I'm not sure why.
I think there were two injured players laying on the ground, and with play going on around them, he just stopped the play.
That's good common sense umpiring, but you rarely see it when the ball's in motion, do you? They normally wait until the next stage, but...
Gee, there's a lot of non-players on the ground here at the moment. The umpire says go, and Lewis just goes bang, and they lead it by 42 points.
A nice stoppage goal there from Jordan Lewis, as Lingy pointed out. He's the last quarter specialist this year.
Harvey to Thomas.
Yep, stay there, stay there. Okay, that's it.
Kicking in danger. Free kick was paid there, BT.
Just thought it was kicking with intent to hurt was the new interpretation, but yeah, interesting anyway. Here is Thomas. Difficult kick, long way out. Got it working very, very nicely, and gee, he's got plenty of journey. No problems at all from Lindsay Thomas. He's second.
Pretty reliable these days, Lindsay Thomas. Left foot out to the boundary there, not an easy kick. Split the middle. And he's coming off the ground now. This often happens. Two goals won for Lindsay tonight.
North Melbourne skipper there, Andrew Swallow, he was subbed off with a concussion. A quick update on a few other injuries today. James Kelly had surgery to repair a ruptured testicle. All went well. Very painful injury. Tom Rockcliffe, better news, cleared of a broken jaw.
Thanks for that, Lingy. Feeling for James Kelly at the moment. That cannot be a lot of fun, but let's hope he's okay. Still 12 minutes remaining in this game. It's a 36-point margin, and I suppose the difference has just been the class of Hawthorn, their incredible ability to use the ball by foot. The Kangaroos have provided a lot of effort, but they'd love to just close this margin down. They're still going hard at it. Stratton's going to concede some ground back to Gibson.
Play on.
Tying off Suckling, prepared to go back to Schoenmakers. Where's he at, Richo? Brian Schoenmakers. I feel like it's almost career-defining time for him. A little window of opportunity with their key backs out.
Well, I guess with Frawley out and Lake out, he's had the opportunity tonight. But once those guys are fit, you would think that he's going to struggle to come back in. Spanger's out as well.
Big Ben Brown's on his long lead. Sold a nice bit of candy. It was Petrie around Burgoyne. You would think the roles reversed there. He couldn't quite get it to Brown in time, and he'll enjoy this through. Oh.
Oh, he's laughing as he did it.
And Sean Burgoyne.
Yeah, don't get around the silk.
Got around
Like
the candy man.
When you're 6'5".
He's normally the man selling it, Sean Burgoyne.
He was chuckling at himself.
Selling candy to the candy man, it was. Clearing kick from the Hawks. Comes Roughhead. Searching for the foot. He's got Thompson. Quick little handball to Ben Jacobs.
Embarrassing thing was he fell for it. Opportunity here, little chiseler, nice, wasn't it? Here he is. Big Drew with a much more straightforward opportunity here.
He actually was smiling as he did that. That was
He
great.
was.
He couldn't believe it himself, I don't think, Drewy.
Talking about Rob Harvey before, his 400th game will be round 17 at the Gabba.
Boomer Harvey.
Yep, Boomer Harvey, sorry, not Rob Harvey. Petrie comes in, kicks the goal. We're back to 30.
So a chance for North Melbourne just to make this respectable, Richard. I know it's consolation time and not going to matter at the end of the year, but I feel like it's important for them. I feel like they need to just get this back to a 15 or 20 point loss is going to mean a bit more to them than letting this blow out.
Oh, absolutely. It's that tight, this competition. Every little bit of percentage counts, especially if it gets really tight late in the year.
Good crowd here tonight, just over 38,000. Good effort. It is a North Melbourne home game as well, so the fans, not necessarily the North fans have enjoyed it, but certainly the Hawthorn fans have. 38,077 here tonight. So Petrie gets it back to an even 30 points. Still got 10 minutes here in this game. Lewis. Interception complete now, and Wood under some Birchall pressure out there. And then the little soccer out of bounds. And the umpire said that was not deliberate. Throw it back in. McAvoy and Goldstein. McAvoy to the front, Hill now to Mitchell. Mitchell. Good either side. Suckling, brilliant on his left. A little heavy on that footy. Over the head here of Hawthorn. Finds Hodge. Hodge to Whitecross. Got the run of Smith here. Smith can go. Decides to go short and find Brust. And this is a difficult kick. He's in the left to right slider pocket. He's virtually got to aim this ball just goal side of the left goal post. Here. The advantage for him is he is close to goal, so there won't be a lot of slide. Go and laugh at me, Richard.
I believe you. Look at that.
Kick on the way. There it is. He goals, so just shores things up for the Hawks.
So he's kicked 4 goals now. Luke Brust continues on his goal-kicking form. 14 for the year. He's so reliable now as a small forward, and they are what you need if you want to be a good team. The best teams have the best small forwards, I believe. Look at Freo with Walters and Ballantyne, Hawks with Brust and Rioli.
4 goals to this man, Luke Brust. Beautiful natural kicking action, isn't it?
Yeah.
So confident. Brown having a turn in the ruck. Gibson wobble this one forward. Going back, Whitecross. Couldn't quite get back in time. Starting sub. He sold teammate there under a bit of pressure in Stratton out. It's out to Mason Wood. He's a natural left-footer. Didn't get good connection. Will he get a fortuitous bounce? Mason Wood. It did go the right way. It might have got the distance. I think Gibson's going to concede that was a goal.
It's touched from behind. Can we make sure that it hasn't crossed the goal line first for a goal? Score review. Umpire's call is touch one behind. Please check it wasn't over the line before it was touched.
I reckon Gibbo thought that was over the line. I thought he'd given up on it, but that'll be inconclusive and
You can't tell if he's actually touching it there, can you, on that still shot?
Well, he's not he's touching it there, and it's not completely over the line.
Ah, okay.
So he's right. He's made the right decision.
Is that our 4th or 5th review here tonight?
Confirmed touched.
So North Melbourne next week go down to Hobart to play Richmond. Both of those teams 2 and 3. So that's a big game now next week in Tassie.
And Hawthorn have got GWS next week. Shipping ball in front of Hill, can go over the top, goes to Mitchell. He has a look around and sells some nice stuff and then went on the left. He's just so talented. Either side, Sam Mitchell.
Coast-to-coast stuff from the Hawks, and that's so good to watch. Sammy Mitchell, he's got some tricks. Not the quickest man in the world, but how often does he get caught? He doesn't. He'll go either side, so you don't know which way to corral him if you're trying to tackle him.
In North Melbourne, as Das says. So did you say Hobart next week, Das, for Richmond? Richo?
Yeah,
Richo, yeah.
Saturday Arvo in Hobart, that one.
Lewis to Hill and couldn't complete the mark. Curses himself for dropping that one.
It's dropped back a gear now, hasn't it? Just this game. Pace gone out of it.
So this game winding down. As Richo just said, 5.5 minutes remaining. Kangaroos have found this part of the game really tough, haven't they, trying to clear defence.
I'll tell you what is going to be intriguing, and that is the press conference of Brad Scott after this game. And we saw Lingy have a chat to him during one of the breaks there, but after this game it'll be very interesting to see what Brad Scott has to say in that press conference.
Yes, looking forward to that. Make sure you stick with us because we will have all of that live as always here on Saturday Night Footy. And we had a great replay of Brad Scott, particularly on the Jordan Lewis incident in the coach's box, and he was certainly, we know what a competitive animal Brad Scott is. He would have liked to have been out there at that moment, I would have thought, as the Hawks go forward. Look at the clever hit on from Rioli to Hill, and they get goal number 17, the Hawks, and blow the margin out to 48 points.
Just some of the little things that don't appear on the stat sheet that Cyril Rioli does are just unbelievable. Little tap-ons, his vision, how he can bring other players into the game with just little touches.
That's why they played him in last year's grand final as well, because people kept talking about stats. It's not about stats with Cyril.
He creates these, BT, and that was a tap-on that time.
Cyril doing a little bit of ruck work there, and that won't go in the stats book. It's just another added bonus that Cyril delivers when he plays.
But and that was, he knew exactly where he was putting that, Cyril. Just smart.
And that's one of the reasons why they elected to play him after the long layoff in last year's grand final. White Cross now, because he just offers so much. He's so talented. And Roughhead with the jukes extended away from Tarrant's reach. Big Rough will line up in the end for his third goal.
Yeah, still a solid night for Ruffy.
Yep.
Tarrant's done well, though, as well.
16 disposals. I think I said a couple of minutes ago. 15! Hadn't had a great night, but he's had 16 and going to kick 3, Richo.
Yeah.
Pretty good for the big man.
That's an average night, you're happy.
And he does. He kicks the third goal, and they lead it by 54 points here, the Hawks. Roughhead has 3 goals, 3 consecutive goals now for the Hawks as well.
His opponent, Robbie Tarrant's been good as well. He's had 20 touches.
So into the final couple of minutes of this match, it's been fairly clinical after about halfway through the second quarter for the Hawks. And they work it through to White Cross. Rioli starting to find a bit of late footy, and Ruff, he's going to get on the end of another one here.
This would be annoying for Robbie Tarrant. Because they've opened it right up now, the forward line, and he's done a reasonable job, but Ruffy gets a few late. He'd be annoyed.
Quiet night, said Bristle.
No, I didn't say quiet. I just said, you know, it's been a
You'd think Ruffy had donuts when you brought that up.
He's well, no, he's going good, Ruff.
Possession number 18. This will be goal number 4 for Ruff.
Yes.
From 45 metres out, he leant back on that one and
going good, Ruff.
Pulled it. So margin out to 54 points in front of 38,077.
What he's saying is this man's got extremely high standards.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, Richo. And he is a great player, Jared Roughhead. How many players did you say kicked 50 or more last year for the Hawks? Was it 3?
What was that? Sorry, Brian.
Goals for the Hawks last year?
50 or more, yeah.
Yeah, 3. Bruce, Gunston and Roughhead.
Good effort. I think they had 11 players in double-figure goals.
Yeah.
As well, Jordan Lewis, great spread. Suckling. Time ticking down. Big win for the Hawks. Going to be their 3rd of the year here. And they will enjoy this. White cross. An inclusion for Puopolo, who didn't make it to the line here.
All that foot skill again from Whitecross. Started as the sub. He hasn't played a lot of footy. And
Gunston wants to barrel his 4th.
Does he go a barrel here, Bristle?
Well, he kicked a drop punt from a very similar distance earlier tonight, I think. So I think the distance probably not a worry for Gunston. This to make it an even 60 points and 4 goals, and that's got the journey. That's a lovely kick. Does it get there? I think it does. Thompson says no. The goal umpire says yes. Gunston's got 4, and they win it by 60 points here.
I reckon they might review this. No. Goldstein reckons he touched it.
Just stay. Let's just stay.
Let's have a look at it.
Miles side from that.
No, it's over the line. First touch, so
They're checking for the goal.
goal will stand. Play the song, Hawthorn.
This has been a Fox Footy presentation, part of the Fox Sports